Who thought that was a good idea?
Oh my god.
In my last video, I told you some of my funny interactions, encounters with people while playing live gigs as a working musician and the strange, ridiculous conversations and experiences that I've had. They were funny stories, and I asked if you guys had any funny stories, and so that's what today's video is. It's kind of a part 2 to my last video. A few of you reached out to me with your stories / left some comments, so I've picked out a couple that I'm going to share in this video. And also Reddit has some funny stories, so we're going to dive in to both today. Hello everyone, you're very welcome back to another video. My name is Amy, I'm a musician, I play guitar and I sing, and I make videos that consist mostly of cover songs, guitar content, vlogs, and I also just enjoy talking about music related things, guitar things, Irish things as well, depending on the video. So yes, this is kind of a part 2 to my last video, so if you haven't watched the first video or the previous video just yet, I'll link it in the description. Go and watch that as well, please. Thank you very much. It was a fun one. I enjoyed making it, and you guys enjoyed watching it, it seemed. Got a lot of nice comments on there, and you wanted me to make another one, so here we are. In my last video also, I was still working on my set, my filming set, so it's pretty much done. It looks a lot different to the last video, I think. I have a couple more things I think I'd like to add. I have a couple of pictures and things that I might stick up here or there or something, but it's mostly done. I'm obsessed with the neon guitar. Got my plant, got my little trinkets, more trinkets, and my orange amp fits very perfectly snug in that little shelf. I love it. Look, it couldn't fit more it's so snug. It couldn't fit more perfect. And of course, place for Puppy. He is there. He's kind of under the camera right now. It's just where he's lying, but he's curled up, fast asleep, listening to me talk. And before we get started, also, quick reminder, please do drop a like and a comment if you wouldn't mind, and also subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know the deal. I can't be a real musician unless you've hit subscribe. First story I'm going to share is actually from one of my mods, a longtime viewer, Lady Bass Guitar. Shout out to Lady Bass. She's been watching both me and my husband's channel for what feels like forever, since the beginning of both of us making stuff online. So shout out to Lady Bass. She's always there, and she's the best. She reached out to me and said, "Love your stories, I can so relate. The one we seemed to get a lot of was drunks walking up and wanting to either share a mic to sing their inebriated hearts out or play one of the guys' guitars. That's definitely happened to me," which I mentioned in the last video. I have so many stories, and I'm sure I might get my memory refreshed today in this video, so we'll see what memories get jogged. Sharing a mic, giving a mic to somebody, always very scary. Yeah, the guitar thing is scary too. I was a little more protective over mine. I didn't particularly like people playing my guitar. I don't think it ever really happened. It definitely happened, but not to me. The girl who sang with us, Kira, she also played acoustic guitar, and there were definitely some guys who played her guitar, definitely. Yeah, people get very confident once they have a drink or two in them. Not saying it doesn't happen. This is the only bad memory I have from playing. We used to do Indigo Girls, Closer to Fine. I played the tin whistle in it. I had played it 69,000 times at gigs, but at one gig, a family member who used to greatly, I'm going to say intimidate, a family member who used to greatly intimidate me no longer does. Good for you, showed up. We were playing the song. I picked up my whistle to play my few seconds and my mind went blank. Thankfully, hubby saw my deer in headlights face and played my part on his guitar for me. That's soulmate right there. Musical soulmate and actual soulmate. That's, wow, that sucks. I hate when that happens. If you're playing and then somebody arrives, that changes how you present yourself. I hate that so much. Like, that was something I like really tried to work on, and I'm still working on, honestly, is if a certain person ends up in front of me while I'm performing, that kind of feeling of I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. But hobby saved the day. I love that. That's so beautiful. And the fact that he was so in tune with you as well, I feel like that's not that's not always normal. And for him to just play the part for you, that's such a nice story. I love it. Musical soulmates. Aww. Thank you for sharing, Lady Bass. You're the best. Another story from Muse Fan 12345. Thank you so much. Longtime subscriber. Always leave nice comments. Appreciate you very much, Muse Fan. Can totally relate to people trying to talk to you while playing. Loud man here. We were playing a gig in a pub in Dundalk. I'm trying to think. I think I went to Drogheda once for a day. That's the only time I've ever been in Louth. Not only was I playing guitar, but I was also, believe it or not, singing. It's terrifying, right? Yes, I was singing, and this Egypt was trying to have a conversation with me. He was requesting Feckin' Wonderwall or some other generic crap while I was singing. People are just ridiculous. I also had my 2 front teeth knocked out by people knocked out. Okay, that's happened. Mic in the teeth happens all the time. It happens way too often. It's horrible. But to actually knock the teeth out, that's crazy. Our singer Kira definitely multiple times got the mic in the tooth, and it's, oh my gosh, when you get hit in your teeth, it's so painful. And if you're trying to sing, like, it's the worst. It was a gig in Navan, a small pub, and as you're probably only too aware, people tend to dance right in front of you. Oh my god. The anxiety is unbelievable. I've like not enjoyed gigs because of that, and it's so conflicting because you want people to have a good time and you want people to dance, but when you're in a small pub and there is literally no dance floor, people just dance beside you and they have drinks, they're knocking into the microphone. Oh my god, my heartbeat is actually getting faster just remembering those memories. Oh, it's awful. People tend to dance right in front of you. This fella bumped into my mic stand and my mic whacked me square in the mouth. Ouch. I felt that. So much of what you talked about is very relatable, particularly the thing about people looking for one more song, #one more tune. We had this guy going mental because we finished up earlier than he was expecting, even though it was a freebie gig and we weren't even getting paid. But you can pay your landlord with exposure, right? I don't like that other people experience this crap, but there's a weird sense of, oh, it's not just me. It's a, what do you call it? Bittersweet catch-22. I don't know whatever, you know what I mean. Thank you, Muse Fan. Thank you for sharing. Great stories, and all very similar to mine, so there's something in the water in Ireland for sure. Next comment is from Borahay_Sabby, also longtime subscriber and member. Thank you so much. Okay, so not a gig, but I was in a marching band in high school, and the weirdest experience was getting a... Can I say that word on YouTube? I guess we'll find out. Getting a blown up thrown at us as we were entering the field. Okay, she did say high school, so definitely wasn't my Irish Catholic school. Appreciate the visual very much. Thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate the comments and the messages very, very much. Let's move on to Reddit. I found a subreddit. That feels weird for me to say that word because I don't like Reddit. I don't spend a lot of time in Reddit. It's just a very negative place. Not my cup of tea, honestly. So it's in the subreddit musicians, and it's just a bunch of people's funny gig stories. So we'll keep everybody anonymous. Just gonna read the stories, so I hope you enjoy. So this person's story: I was in an original project in my younger days. We had played the B stage in a festival where national acts were performing, and it was great exposure. Shortly after, we got a gig from someone who had seen us at the festival. That's just reminded me of a not a nice story, actually. A band I was in years ago, we also got booked for a festival. I was working a full-time job at the time, and I took the day off work to drive from Mayo. I won't say where this gig was or where this festival was. We were supposed to be not the main support, not the main act, but also not the main support act. There was like 2 support acts, and I think we were the first one, so we were like the really baby fish. The first tiny band. So I took the day off my job at the time, drove like, I think it was a good 3-4 hours. Irish roads, depends on where you're going. If it's deep in the country, it just takes longer to get places because the roads are just not great. They're windy and old, and had to leave in the afternoon to get to this place by the evening. And then we got there and they cancelled. Actually, they cancelled after we did a sound check. We got there, did our sound check, and then the main act cancelled. I don't know, were they double booked or they were playing somewhere else? I won't say who this band is because it's nothing to do with them. A somewhat famous band, and I don't know what happened. There was a mix-up or something. They weren't coming, so they pretty much were like, yeah, sorry. They came to us later and were like, so we can't pay you. Well, they didn't say that outright, but it was obvious. What they were offering us was free drinks for the night, which is just the solution to everything in Ireland. Just drink and it's fine. And I just remember going, I have to drive back to Mayo tonight because I have to work tomorrow. And I took the day off my job today. I know that wasn't really their problem, but free open bar for me tonight is just not helpful at all. So yeah, I was annoyed for multiple reasons, and then just the final nail in the coffin was, why is the solution to everything in Ireland alcohol? Anyways, let's get back to the Reddit story. Shortly after, we got a gig from someone who had seen us at the festival. We never spoke directly with this person as it had come through someone who was acting on our behalf, like a booking agent / manager, but who wasn't. The gig was on a large chartered boat. 3 hours, more money than we'd ever received for any other gig. Things were looking up. The hopefulness of a young band will just never not break my heart, because you just so vulnerable for being taken advantage of. It's the worst. And also, we got offered to do gigs on, to take a boat to an island, like Clare Island or something. We never did it because the thought of like lugging the gear across on a boat was just too much. We were like, no, sorry, we're going to stay in the mainland. Thank you, though. Forward to the day of the gig, we arrive with a van full of gear and meet the woman who booked us. We were in our early / mid-20s. She was at least twice that. Strange, but whatever. Maybe it was a party for her son or daughter. She's seen us play. She knows what she's getting. We're a university band playing songs about and in odd meters with non-standard chord progressions. Should be fine. I like the sound of this band. I wonder who they are. We get our gear loaded in and set up on the boat. As we're settling in, she sets up an easel at the top of the ramp where the guests would enter. As she placed the placard on the easel and stepped to the side, our collective hearts dropped. It read, "Happy 75th birthday." I'm going to not include the name. It's the name is there. Happy 75th. It was her mother's 75th birthday and she booked us. This woman is obviously not right in the head. A 75th birthday party. A young band singing songs about in odd meters with non-standard chord progressions. What is happening? In fact, we realize she is straight up bonkers. Panic set in. Aside from us, the woman who had booked us in her 40s was the next youngest person on the boat by nearly half. Oh no! The guests were wheeled and shuffled on and seated in positions where they would remain for the next 3 hours. This sounds like anywhere we took my grandma. Oh my god, this is bad. This is bad. We were horrified. I was ready to toss my drum kit overboard and just bail, swim for shore and hope the rest make it out alive. I couldn't see how it would be possible to get through the next 3 hours. Luckily, most of the others in the band were music students at university, and fine ones at that, and we cobbled together the most insane set list imaginable. These guys are pros. Cobbled together the most insane insane setlist imaginable and just barely passable as appropriate for the group in front of us. Some of the songs were literally just a swung version of existing original material we had. Oh, fair play to these guys. Let's just make everything swing and just wing it. A swung version of existing original material we had with slight changes to the lyrics, like changing the phrase white trash party to boat ride party. Delivered in the most lounge lizard way possible. That, coupled with disco and jazz standard, we blindly plowed through 3 of the most excruciating hours of my performing life. At the end of it all, after the guests had gone, the woman approached us, told us how happy she was, paid us in full, and left us each with a memento that I still have to this day, over 20 years later, a pin with her mother's picture on it that read, "I survived blank's 75th. Looking back now, it's such a fond and funny memory of my gigging life, but in the moment, it was terrifying." That's a great story. That's such a great story. Who else's heart dropped when you heard 75th birthday party? That is truly terrifying. Another story was playing in an open mic with instruments with my friends that I saw every week. This was several years ago. So I played guitar and we're all playing a song on stage. Can't remember the song now. Anyway, there was a man in the very small audience who had had a few drinks. So it's going to go downhill now. Now this guy had prosthetic limbs, plural. Both his legs and one of his arms were prosthetic. He really didn't like what we were playing, so he proceeded to remove all of his prosthetic limbs and throw them onto the stage. His friend came to get them after the song had finished. Okay, I'm not laughing at the fact that he has prosthetic limbs. That's not what I'm laughing at. It sounds like a joke, but it would honestly be funnier if he was serious. I mean, it sounds like he was serious. I would have been in trouble in that situation. I'm so glad I wasn't there. If that was me playing, I would have been dying laughing and it would have looked very insensitive. In the middle of like banana pancakes and then just somebody throws a leg at me. This was so surreal and actually a little scary as we could have been injured. Looking back, it was hilarious. And then someone's replied and said, give the band a big hand. Another story got asked to play for a wedding. The groom was the singer's friend. Okay, groom has about 80 guests. We had about 80 guests at our wedding. Playing all the standard wedding tunes. Crowd are kind of into it, but not really. Then the groom asked us to play Killing in the Name of by Rage Against the Machine. Oh my god. I love that song, first of all, but maybe not the most appropriate for a wedding. You, I won't do what you tell me. You, I won't do what you tell me. The entire 80-odd guests hit the fucking roof. They absolutely loved every minute of that song, and I could feel the floor vibrating with their jumps. Remember barely being able to play with how much I was laughing. It was like they had just woken up. Thought it was really funny as well and really cool that one song made them react that way. If there's any song, that's a song. It's risky though. That's risky because that could go very wrong. I feel like that's such a classic hit or miss. Like either you're gonna die a death if you pick that song, or the crowd's gonna react like that and it'll be the best night ever. That one definitely wouldn't have worked at the 75th, it sounds like. Could you imagine? And now you do what they told ya. Not to do what they told. I'm gonna go listen to that after this. I love that song. I'll have to record a short of that now. That's such a great riff. Let's read another story. I think this one looks like it was just pre-COVID. So right before everything shut down, I landed my highest paid gig ever. I was a stand-in for a band with a pretty big following. This is so heartbreaking that the whole industry shut down after this. The only catch was I wasn't really playing. I was just miming my parts because I wasn't actually hooked up to anything. Oh no. This band got my info from a friend of a friend and never got the opportunity to hear me play before the show. So while everyone else was hooked up, my parts were fed through the soundboard. So I guess what I'm saying is my highest paid gig is one where I wasn't actually playing anything. Thanks for all those years of piano lessons, Mom. They really paid off. I drove to a gig 3 hours away from home and forgot my microphone. Oh no. This place was a hole in the wall in a very small town, no mics around, and the other local bar had a grudge against the bar I was playing at, so they wouldn't let us borrow their mic. That happens in small towns. It's really weird. If one place books a band, I think it's weird because a band is a business, right? And so you want to get as much business as you can and not just in one place. I mean, I get loyalty, but I feel like at the same time, just because a certain place in a town books a band, like they don't then own that band. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think it's weird. I think a band should be able to play wherever they want to play, and if they want to play in multiple places in a town, that's fine. Unless there's some kind of a residency thing sorted out, like that's different. But yeah, that rivalry thing is really weird. It's kind of like, oh well, we can't play there because we played here. It's that's stupid. It's funny though when there's like rivalry. So the bar manager went home and got her 4-year-old's Fisher Price karaoke mic and duct taped it to a chair and played the shit out of the bar that night. After the gig was over, it was 3:30 and we totally forgot to gas up. I assume that means he forgot to get gas. This is definitely American. We forgot to gas up. Well, our empty light was on and the nearest gas station was an hour on the highway. We white-knuckled it to the gas station only to find out it was closed, and we drove on and hoped for the best. That's really risky. We made it to the next gas station almost 2 hours away, and we'll never understand how we didn't break down. Wow, that went places. It started with feuding pubs, a Fisher Price mic, and then almost running out of petrol. This story is from a harpist and play mostly weddings. The most memorable/silly wedding was outside in a park pavilion. As the bride and groom came back down the aisle, the guests threw rice or whatever you now throw to be eco-friendly, and that is also rice-sized. Yeah, I found that out recently, that apparently it's not good to do that, which I don't think I've ever done that. Think flower petals. Random. Anyway, first part that was not funny is a teenager threw a handful of rice through the strings of my harp as I was playing. Oh, that's not funny. I mean, it's funny, but as a musician, that's not funny. The actual funny bit was that someone did not bother to open the little paper box, think small fold-up Chinese food takeout box that the rice was in, and instead just threw the whole box at the couple. What is wrong with people? That's not funny. This one's short and this one's funny. My first solo live. Oh boy. We played acoustic covers and the tempo was much faster than the original song. That happens all the time. Oh my gosh. It's so true. But I practiced the Knockin' on Heaven's Door solo with the original Guns N' Roses track. Okay, I got it. So the moment I started the solo, I had to yell slower at my buddy because I could not keep up. Luckily, it was a small pub full of drunk people. They didn't notice the tempo drop. I sometimes wonder if they noticed us. They definitely didn't. I will say that right now. A small pub full of drunk people, they probably didn't even realize you were there. So that's funny though. Slower. When Leonard Cohen died, my friend and I decided to play Hallelujah in a bar, but I was a little tipsy and I totally botched the order of the verses. I've done this with Sultans of Swing and with Horse with No Name. I completely forgot the order of the chords. The whole thing was a train wreck, and while my friend desperately tried to harmonize and keep up with the chord changes, once we got off, some lady came up and told us that she would pray for us. That's funny. This one seems kind of crazy. My function band were booked to play a guy's 20th birthday. His parents had a pretty big house and they'd put a big marquee up in the garden and invited all of his university and old school friends. It was a pretty good night for the most part. They were all into the music and danced a lot during the first set, which is why it was really weird when the dad came up to me in the break and said, "Would you mind playing some better music in the second half?" What? I was pretty taken aback and can read an audience, and this lot were having a good time. I talked him up as one of those guys who thinks everyone likes the same music as he does and just did the usual, "Yeah, of course, what do you like?" hoping we could squeeze him in one request. He just said, "Proper music, mate," and stormed off. Okay, this is England. I mean, I'm assuming it might not be, but it could be Australia. It could be Australia. Proper music, mate. I hate that so much. That was really nice. Whoever wrote this story, like, hear him out, listen and see what he means, and then like, okay, maybe we'll try and squeeze something in just to keep him happy. God, this guy's annoying. I mean the dad, not the person who wrote the story. So proper music mate and storms off. Good. Gig's going well and we just got paid in advance. We'll just play the set we were gonna play. Yes, I agree. Anyway, the first half of the second set went well and we were starting to build up our last block of about 8 never fail songs that always leave the night on a high. But instead of peaking people, sorry, I read that weird. Instead of peaking, people started drifting out. There we go. We got there. First a couple each song and then in greater numbers. We played our last 2 songs to ourselves and were pretty dismayed. That sucks. As we started packing the guitars away, the drummer went out to make a call and people were coming in. Some of the girls were crying. The drummer came back in stone-faced and said, "Heads up guys, the dad has just punched the son." Turns out the dad had been getting progressively hammered through the night and it had culminated in a huge argument that people had tried to help with and then a fist fight between the birthday boy and his dad. That's just sad. That's sad. The worst part was we were contracted to DJ for 2 more hours. Oh no! They're not even done! While everyone sat in groups crying, arguing, or not talking at all, there is no genre in all of musical history that suits this kind of crowd, so we just put the most bland 2 hours of music together we could possibly find, flinching inwardly every time a song referenced fighting or violence, and we forgot to take the song out and just rode out the storm quietly to midnight. Oh no, this is a disaster. We'll read a couple more. This is so fun. I could do this for hours. I played in a folk trio for a bit that played a lot of gigs that we shouldn't have been playing. Oh, you know, like the taproom owner is a big fan but doesn't realize their space is ill-suited to any live music, let alone the kind we're playing. Oh no. Anyway, I recall the songwriter warming up with a few solo tunes and some girl who I don't know or recognize comes up to me, not knowing that I'm in the group, and drunkenly blurts, "Is it me or does this guy suck?" "Oh, you mean my bandmate, ma'am?" Oh no. People are so honest. Like, you can rely on the public, whether it's in real life or internet comments, they will always tell you the truth. Not saying they're right, but I just mean that they will not hold back their opinions. I think I remember the only folks who seemed to pay us any mind that night were the owner, who kept coming out telling us how good we were doing, and the older lady hippie noodle dancing right in front of us all night. What's noodle dancing? That probably would have been me, but I definitely need a few drinks in me first. I can't just do this in public. All right, let's get one more. Gotta get a good one. A really good one for the end of the video. Watching my bandmate's beautiful custom snare getting thrashed. Oh, my dad will relate to this one. Oh my god. Getting thrashed by the opener's drummer who showed up with no gear and no drumsticks. That's it. That's the end of the story. Oh my god. My dad has a word for those people. It's a very Mayo, West of Ireland word called scalpers. Is someone who scalps a snare drum and hits it way too hard. It's never their own snare. It's always someone else's. Oh, it's awful. I've watched that happen where my dad will be so generous and give up his drum kit for some kid to play a song, and they are absolutely beating the living shit out of the snare, and it's the worst. The worst. Learn how to hit a snare. Please. Especially if it's not yours. And it's always like custom, prized. Always. Goes back to my other video, my previous video. People just don't give a shit about your gear, and it's so infuriating. Okay, this is the last one I could find. It's the only one I can get that's a paragraph, so I hope it's good. The sister of the bride wanting to sing a song for the newlywed couple. That's iffy. Okay, fine. Not the first time a guest wanted to sing, and she wants to sing a track even better. Yeah, that's perfect. The song she wanted to sing was Satisfied from Hamilton. What? Why would she sing that at a wedding? be satisfied. You will never be satisfied. Is she in love with the groom? Like, what the fuck? Yes, literally, the next sentence, the weird, because the lyrics are about the sister wanting to sleep with the groom, but the best part is she wants to do this during her speech to the couple. No! In front of a captive audience of 300 guests. Oh, I did pick a good one to end. Oh my god, this is crazy. This is main character syndrome. The look on the bride's face was absolutely priceless as her sister sang, and it wasn't just one verse. She was gonna do the whole song until the bride had to go up and put a stop to it. I laugh about that night still. Oh my god, that's insane. Why would you think that's a good idea? Okay, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm just gonna give very brief context. If you know Hamilton, you're gonna be like, me and my sister, actually, we went to see Hamilton last year for the first time. Incredible. Let me just read a couple of the lyrics and you'll be like, who thought that was a good idea to sing that in front of the family? Oh my god. The first verse is perfect. Just sing that. It's like, a toast to the groom, to the groom, to the groom, to the bride. From your sister, who's always by your side, to your union and the hope that you provide, may you always be satisfied. Nice. And then the song, it rewinds back to when the night that her and her sister met the groom, and she's reminiscing, going, if I hadn't introduced them, I could have got with him. That's what the song's about. Why would you sing this at your sister's wedding? Are you kidding? I cannot get over this. The rap is amazing, by the way. I wish I could do it. I can't. It's all about him. This is what it's like to meet someone with the same wit and intelligence as me. What the hell is the catch? It's a feeling of freedom. It's seeing the light. It's Ben Franklin with the key and the kite. You see it right. It's very, very well written. Handsome, boy does he know it. Peach fuzz, he can't even grow it. I want to take him far away from this place, and then I turn and see my sister's face, and she is helpless. Her eyes are just helpless. She's got a whole thing then. She has to marry rich because she's the eldest daughter, so she decides to introduce her sister to the groom. I'm going on about this way too much, but I'm a Hamilton stan, so I didn't know this was going to happen. So I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. If I tell her that I love him, she'll be silently resigned. He'd be mine. She'd say I'm fine. She'd be lying. But when I fantasize at night, it's Alexander's eyes as I romanticize what might have been if I hadn't sized him up so quickly. At least she's his wife. At least I keep his eyes in my life. This is nuts. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe this happened. That's the end of the video right there. Who knew? I thought I was just going to be reading some funny stories. I didn't think we were going to end up in Hamilton. I love it. I love where this video ended up. This was not planned. I glanced through the first few and then I just was like, okay, I'll just read them when I film. And this was more towards the end of the thread. So this one was, oh my god. Wow. What a place we've arrived. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was so fun. I'm just still a bit flabbergasted, honestly, of where I ended up. How did we end up in Hamilton? This was meant to be. I was meant to make this video today. If you did enjoy, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, of course. Do all the things that help me out. I hope you like my new filming set / streaming set. I'm live streaming again. Come and check me out. I do acoustic live covers every Saturday. I'm trying to make the weekly stream a little more level up, you know? So I want to get some backing tracks and make it a whole thing, make it a little weekly show here on the channel. So yeah, do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss when I go live or when I post another video. I do also post a lot of shorts, vertical content as well, a lot of 1-minute covers and that kind of thing. I just recently posted 2 of the songs from Freaky Friday, little short versions of those to coincide with the new movie that came out this month. So check those out if you haven't already. Lots more exciting stuff coming up for the rest of this year, so stay tuned. I'm very excited to share some project things with you coming very soon. I'll keep it vague for now, but yeah, stick around and you won't want to miss out. There are some links in the description to support me further if you would like to. Of course, you do not have to. It is not mandatory, just for anybody who wants to and has the means to. You get some bonus content that is all listed in the membership perks, but I also have Patreon as well, YouTube membership, and I have a merch store as well with lots of music and Irish inspired designs. Also have a gaming channel linked below as well. I've been streaming Animal Crossing New Horizons and doing let's plays of a bunch of old nostalgic content or old nostalgic games that I played when I was younger. That channel is very much a hobby, but it's a lot of fun over there, so if that sounds like a bit of you, then check the description as well. I will leave a link to Pokera, my gaming channel. Also follow me TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook if you want to. If you're on those apps, that would be great if you can. So thank you so much again. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon again in the next one. Bye. Sister, like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. If I tell her that alone, she'll be silently resigned. He'd be mine, she'd be fine, she'd be lying. Something like that.